Second one, quantitative. So the name itself is indicating that quantity, how much amount is present. You're going to tell or you're going to identify the unknown quantity. So whatever the test you got, that quantity you're going to tell. So there what you're going to do, you're going to take the 3 test tubes, you're going to name them as a blank, standard and test. So in the blank you're going to add the distilled water, and you need to tell the amount how much you added, and the standard, the how much amount of standard you added, the test, how much amount of test you added. So after that you are going to add your reagent, you're going to do the incubation. This is a thumb rule for everything. Every test will follows like that for glucose, for urea, for creatinine, for protein, same thing. You need to take 3 test tubes, blank standard test tube, distilled water, standard solution, test solution and the reagent. Then the incubation. After the incubation, what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to take the OD. OD stands for optical density. You need to use a machine called colorimeter. There you're going to keep your sample and you're going to collect the OD for blank, OD for standard, OD for test. After you got the 3 ODs, what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to do the calculation. What is this calculation? It's very simple. So OD of blank, OD of standard, OD of test. You got all the 3. Now you need to know, you need to nullify that, the OD of blank. So for that you need to do OD of test minus OD of blank divided by OD of standard minus OD of blank. So it's okay, you can directly do this. So test by standard into concentration of standard. This is a simple rule. If you don't want to remember all these things, simple. OD of test, OD of standard into concentration of standard. So based on that you can do that. So test divided by the standard, you know the differentiation. For example, I got a standard 100 grams of glucose, test 150 grams of glucose. So 150 and 100, you will be having a difference between the ODs. So what happens in the OD? So it may be, for example, 0.3 divided by 0.2. So you're going to do the calculation. So you got the 1.5. So and the standard of concentration, you already know 100. 100 into 1.5, you got the 150. Direct answer. You can do it very easily. No need to panic about that. First, take your quantitative, write the aim, and then principle, then procedure. Take 3 test tubes, mark it as blank standard test tube, make a table. In that, blank distilled water, standard solution, test solution. How much amount you're adding? 1 ml, 1 ml, 1 ml, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 microliter. Then do the incubation. After the incubation, you will be having different nanometers. Just have a look on that. We are giving you anyway. Other video, you will be having how much time, how long and all. See, I can't tell you all things in a one slide just before the exam. So I'm giving you different like materials to follow. So where you are weak, just go through with that. So with this, you can able to understand the quantitative. After the quantitative, one more important thing is quantitative Viva. In the quantitative, they will ask you normal and abnormal conditions. Even in qualitative, they will ask in which conditions you got that. For example, sugar and ketone bodies are there in the urine. They will ask you in which condition you can see the sugar, in which conditions you can see the ketone bodies. Suppose you say diabetes insipidus. Direct insipidus? No, you can't say like that. So in which conditions where the renal threshold value got high, diabetes insipidus will be having polyuria, not the sugars in the urine. It's a common answer, common error for everyone. Diabetes mellitus type 2, that's especially when you're having higher amount of the sugars in the blood. So blood has to get rid of the excess amounts. It will try to retain the sugar. When it has more than the capacity, it has to let it go. When it let it go, it will appear in the urine. Same thing with the ketone bodies. So in the starvation conditions and all, in the acidosis and all, these ketone bodies will get increases. So these ketone bodies will increase the acidosis. So which causes the, like I already told you, diabetic ketoacidosis. So you should know what condition in blood and protein. Is there any tumor in the or a renal parenchyma, like whatever the cells, and any problem with your nephrons, tubules, are there any lesions, any stone lesions, conditions like that, or like a protein. So you know that filtering, right? So like, you know, when you make a tea something, so you need to separate the tea powder from the tea. So for that you will use filter. Your kidney will do the same thing. So imagine your tea powder as your proteins. When you got a hole in your tea filtrate, what happens? The tea powder will come into the teacup. Same thing. So when you're having a holes or porous thing in your kidney, what happens? Your protein will escape and enter into the urine. So this is what the thing happens out there. Nephrotic syndrome or kidney damage, renal damage, what you can call that. So bile salts and bile pigments, when you're having especially bile salts and bile pigments, you can say that completely blindly, you can say conjugative. Conjugative bilirubin will increase. Conjugative bilirubin is the cause for the bile salts and bile pigments in the urine. Which one? Conjugative. More conjugative you can see in obstructive jaundice. In obstructive jaundice, you can see very commonly bile salts and bile pigments. It's a thumb rule. Directly you can say single disease and you can sit. So this is about the qualitative and quantitative. As I told you, protein, in which conditions protein. So same thing, urea, which condition creatinine. Just go through with the conditions outlines. It's given in the other slides too. So we're done with the qualitative, quantitative. Now coming to the one of the trickiest part. We call it as Viva. You people call it as a punishment. Okay. Viva, internal and external both will be there. So internal, external, 4 people will be there. Each and everyone will ask you the questions. 4 5s are 20 marks. So you need to satisfy all the 4 people. If someone gave you 5, someone gave you 1, doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. You need to get 5, minimum 3 to 4 from each and every examiner. In this scenario, what you're supposed to do? First and foremost, whatever the practical you got, qualitative, quantitative, be thorough with that. They'll start from there on. They'll ask you the Viva. In the morning session itself, they will have a impression on you. They got an impression how you answered by qualitative and quantitative. Then they will come into the Viva of theory. In the theory Viva, they will go with the topic wise. So majority they will ask you in which topic you are strong enough. Give a damn good topic where you are too good. If you are too good with the topic, just name the topic. They will ask you 3 4 questions. If you are answering well those 3 4 questions, they will ask you a tricky question. They will leave you. End of the day, they want you people to say I don't know. But don't give up in the first question or second question. Try for minimum 5 6 questions. So in that scenario, what happens? The topics, they will go with the topics. Some examiners will go with the question paper. I can tell you this is the trick. Go through with your 2 question papers. They'll ask you how you wrote your exam. You say that, okay, sir. If you say that, okay, the marks also, okay. If you say, sir, very bad. So few people will think that if I say theory, I have done bad, they will give you more practical marks. It doesn't work out. If you do that, what they will do, they will cut down your marks. Anyway, you're failing in theory. What do you want in this? They'll ask like that. You're not deserving. If you say, sir, I did very well, but this question got tricky, then they'll ask you, answer that question. So what they want to know, have you checked it or not? Have you gone back and have referred it or checked it? Have you got that answer or not? So the examiner will get satisfied when you say, I haven't gone through with the topic before the exam, but after the paper I have gone through, I felt like, oh shit, I missed it. That's it. You got the marks. You can clear that. And if you're good with one topic, they will go with other topic. So while you're answering, that leads you for the next question. For more content, tricks and tips of biochemistry and other subjects of your first year MBBS, just do follow us, subscribe, and you can follow us in the Instagram, ABC Biochemistry, and MedMemes, who supports and content, regular uploads, you can go through with these 2. Thank you.